Good morning. Hand today is going to be 9-2. We are in middle position. Under the gun raises. We fold. Hijack calls. And that's it. So both players are playing about 17-18% of hands. Under the gun seems to be a bit more aggressive, playing 18-17. We do have some notes on him where he's checked behind in big blind with 6-2. He 3-bet with jacks. He ISO raised with ace queen off. Ace queen off, then he's in position and raised the donk bet 80% all in. So I think this guy's probably playing decent range, solid range. Early position stat has him raising for sin 17%, VPIP 15%. So that's what we're kind of targeting, 15 to 17. So this is 17.2%. This it looks pretty good. It's got your big cards, got your pocket pairs. I do think we're throwing in some suited aces here too as well. This player's playing 17-10. We do have called in the big blind versus a low jack raise with king 9 off, so he was out of position. Then check called with just overs on an 8-5-5 board. He's called from the big blind with king jack suited. Not as many hands to identify, and really just not as many hands overall. So in mid position, it's 2 out of 8. So when we look at a player like this, I'm looking at a bigger range. I'm going to assume queens plus ace king raises, so I take those out. But I think, Broadway, he's called king 9 off, he's called king jack. I think broadways are in there. I think your pocket pairs, your suited connectors, probably your suited one gappers, because we need to get up to a higher percentage. I think suited aces, suited kings are maybes. If we take him out, it drops it down to 22. Leave him in, we're back up to 23.5. It's just we don't have a huge number of hands right now. I think I'm going to take him out. Just based on that overall 17. I think if this was like 25, 28 for VPIP, maybe we could justify calling. Like if it was this guy, I think we could call with king 9. I think we're going to take it out, but I think we'll leave like king 9, queen 9 in here. So 21.4, 2 players. We see a flop of Jack-9-7 with 2 diamonds. He c-bets, and not too surprised, he does c-bet. 78.5% when out of position. And he c-bets fairly large, which is kind of interesting. I think I probably would have been half pot on this c-bet. And it's because that board hits the calling range a lot. I think we're going to give him probably top pair plus, flush draw, open ender, probably gut shots as well. Over cards would be like your ace king, ace queen, king queen. I think those are going to be called. We'll say 10s because that's also a gut shot. I think all of those except the ace 9. 8s, 7, 8, ace 7. Yeah, I think we would do that. 5s and 6s could be a check, probably a check. We know that he can check. I think we'll just leave it at that. So he c-bets, and he c-bets fairly large. And think, does that give anything away? Nah. We'll see. He's been betting 50%. It looks like bet 50%, raise 50%. I mean, that's all that we know. So maybe that sizing isn't going to say anything, or it could. I mean, we've got. I mean, maybe if we take things out, we would take out like that ace 7. Like we'd leave in 8-7, but take out ace 7, right? And I think we've got that as a gut shot. Same thing with like ace 9. I think we would take those out, but leave in like 10-9. Because again, they have, you're gonna have gut shots there. So it's like top pair plus. Yeah, we'll leave that. All right, so villain 8 raises, and does like a min raise here. What does he min raise with? It's kind of an interesting hand. I guess normally when I see the min raise, you don't see it with top pair. I think normally it's 2 pair plus is when you see the raises. Probably not even the flush draw. I think that's probably what we're looking at. Would it top pair? Jack 10, Queen Jack. It's a 10 and L game, so no. We're going to say 2 pair plus. All right, and then villain calls, and I do think he's probably calling with everything that he has here, even the overcards, because it is just a kind of a min raise. So we'll leave that in there. Jack of clubs comes out. Kind of expect this guy to just check to him. Check basically everything. If he's got a solid hand, I think he's gonna check raise. Now he bets 7. So that is maybe 25% of the pot. This is kind of looking like a straight or maybe this middle pair. I guess it could be everything. You know, evens, quads, or full house, they're betting small to try to get called. They're not going to raise them off. At this point, they're not too worried about it. So, you know, they're not too worried about getting beat. So they could bet smaller with the straights in the middle pair, like the 9-7. That's just they're betting because they think they should be betting here. And they're kind of worried about, you know, that jack helping their opponent. So I think I probably have everything here that they would bet. And then this guy calls again, so yeah. Do I think he's gonna check raise it at all? Probably not. Not with quads, not with the full house. I think once you get raised on the flop, I think players tend to wait until the river to make their play. I think flush draw open enders call. Don't think the gut shots call anymore unless they're part of some other draw. We see our last river card is a 10 of diamonds, so draws get there. Villain 5 checks, and the question is, would he check everything? I'm gonna say, would he check the flush? Let's check. It doesn't really lead. I think with the range of hands, with the board as it is, I don't really think a flush is going to lead because they're going to be scared of the full house. I think that's probably what they're going to do. So I do expect to check. He bets. Geez, another quarter. I think at this point, I don't think we're looking at straights. I think we're going to be looking at like the full house plus. I think that's what we're going to be looking at with him. And then you get this other villain to call. I think since he didn't raise, I kind of expect the full house to raise. Anything better than a full house to raise. So I think, we're looking at overpair's just going to be stubborn, I believe. Three of a kind's easily just going to call. Flush is going to call. And with that three of a kind, it's one of those things. Could he have check raised? Yeah, he probably could have. But since he was raised on the flop, I think that kind of scares him, scares people. So probably less likely to see like that ace jack, but we could possibly see like a jack queen, jack 10. All right, so you see the river, he shows overpair. It's in there. It's just kind of, you get stubborn with the overpair. You don't want to give it up. And he shows sevens, 4 7s full. So that was the full house. We kind of hit them both. So let's just go ahead and jot down some notes here. All right, so here we have raise first in. I guess we will put this right at the beginning. RFI 3 big blinds under the gun with king diamonds, king clubs. He is out of position. He bets 5 7s. Guess we'll do 75% maybe. 66%. I don't know, we can calculate it. Yeah, it's about 75%. So we'll say bet 75% and call min raise. And then check called 25%, check called 25% again on a jack of diamonds, 9 of diamonds, 7 of spades. Jack of clubs, 10 of diamonds. Okay, so we've got him. Let's get this guy. So now, oops. He called under the gun, 3 big blind RFI in hijack with 7 of clubs, 7 of diamonds. He is in position. Min raise versus 75% C bet. And then bet 25%, bet 25%. All right, so pre-flop, I don't think there's anything wrong. I think that's fine. I think it's fine. I think the flop play is probably fine. Yeah, I agree with the raise. I will note that we said normally at 10 and L the raises come with like 2 pair plus. We have to include bluffing ranges. We just have to include it. So this player raises and I narrowed it down and basically said, yeah, I think this is typically just 2 pair plus. That's 7%. If this is all you do, you're just going to be too predictable. You make that play. Yeah, I don't mind the king's calling here because he has a king of diamond. And if a diamond comes, or if let's say if a 10 or a queen comes, you've just picked up more draws with your overcard. Yeah, you're probably drawing, but you still have outs. But here, kings could easily have gotten away from it. And again, it'd be hard to get away from it on the flop. But once you see the turn on the, you could fold the turn, you could fold on the river. I hate doing that with kings. I know. You're going to hate doing it with aces too, but you have to recognize that when players raise like this, especially at 10-0, they've got a hand. I'd even venture a guess a straight possibly. So if you're going to do this with those hands, you have to have it balanced. And, you could, even if you do something, flush draw where it's like, yeah, I've got my pair plus a flush. So we're looking at really, I guess 7-8 is about it. Or you could do like 8-6. Since the 9 of diamonds out there, it really just kind of hurts a bit. I think you do like ace-10, ace-8. You've got king-10. You've got queen-10. Heck, you could do ace-queen, king-queen. 10-8 already has a straight, so we're already doing that. You got ace-7, so bottom pair. I mean, now you're looking at like 2-1 at this point. We could go, throw in all of our open ender. That's 17. That's probably too much at this point. But we could target like maybe just the spades to throw in breaks. Point being, you need to have more. And then also, I mean, if you have a jack, that he see that you raised. I mean, if you have a jack, it's going to be harder for him to have a jack. So, you make a thin value raise, make a play here. Go for it. Just don't be predictable. Don't make it seem like it's these hands. And then once you get to the turn and it's and the board pairs, you bet a quarter. Yeah, I was kind of thrown off because I think strong hands could bet quarter pot to avoid getting players to fold. Like if you have a jack 9, jack 7, I'd say jack 9. If you have a jack 9, you're gonna be hesitant to raise. If you have pocket jacks, you're not going to raise large. Pocket 9s, you're probably not going to raise large. You bet a little bit smaller to encourage the call. But you also need to do it with some of your other hands too. That jack, yeah, that's scary. It's going to be scary to him if he called with just ace, king, king, queen, and you did it with a flush draw, or a flush, like an open-ended straight with the flush draw. Say 8-6 of diamonds. You did that. That jack kind of looks scary to you because you're thinking, well, he called, so maybe he has a jack. But a player like this out of position, once they make the c-bet, it's going to be hard for them to fold, especially to a min raise. So don't put them just on pocket pairs. Include those overcards that they were c-betting with. And then continue to attack. I think he could have bet half pot easy. He already did. He already did the min raise. I think he could go half pot on the flop and then again half pot on the turn. If he shows a jack 10, jack 9, so be it. But I think we're going to know. I think that if we bet, half pot on the river and he comes over the top, I think you could probably fold. Your 7s full of jacks are probably beat. Because on a board like this, I don't expect the flush to be betting. I really don't. Not at 10-0. Alright, so hopefully you enjoy this hand. If you like it, look tomorrow. We will continue reviewing these hands and we'll have another one up.